What? You want friends? Hi guys, Jonathan from Two Raven Studios. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe. We have new videos every week. In today's video, I'm going to do yet another unboxing. So, what we're going to be looking at is the King of Malifica from Creature Caster. I have both the Resplendent and Ascendant version because I have a problem and had to buy both. This model is a big demon. So one of my favorite models I ever did was the Queen of Malifica. So when I saw they were coming out with the King, I had to get it. If you want to see more of this, I'm going to link up. I did a 360 shot of this miniature because it's one of my favorite miniatures I ever painted, and I use the word miniature very loosely. So check that out. But as I said, we have the King of Malifica to look at today. There's two versions. There's the Ascendant version, which has some tentacles and things, and the Resplendent version, which is a much bigger model with wings and a crazy looking base. So the reason there were 3 boxes in the intro was the Resplendent version is so big it's in 2 boxes. So we're going to look at the pieces of all those, and then I'm going to stick them together, and we can get some shots of what they look like assembled. So let's get right into the models. So we're starting out with the Ascendant version. So let's open up and see what we got. So we have the exclusive dial you get for the pre-order, and a bunch of bags full of parts. Let's take a look at the dial that comes with it. This can be like a wound tracker or something like that. It's pretty nice. So it gives you the metal plates and some magnets so you can put it together. You have one side that is 1 to 10 or 0 to 1, and another side that is 1 to 20 for tracking. Again, wounds or whatever you want to do with them. One of the faces is the bird head for the model. Really interesting and cool looking. And the other one is the more spawn looking head. Works pretty nice. Once you get the magnets and the metal piece in there, it'll be really nice. So here we have most of the pieces of the miniature laid out. So here's the base. You have the Creature Caster logo on the bottom. And there's these pillars that will go into a couple spots on that base. Very nice detailing on them. The cast of this is pretty nice. So this is the main body. You can see it's got some cool scales along the back. There's a little bit of mold line running along here, but it's very slight. It's going to be easy to clean up. It's a very clean cast. Very nice. You have the eyes and the teeth. All different parts all over the body. And then you have the main torso. You can see some nice detailing on here. It slots into the top of the body like that, so you can kind of get an idea what the shape of the overall model is. This is one of the legs, so it actually fits in there nice and clean. There's very little gaps. And then you have these tentacles that go on the other side. There's some injection points that have to be cut off for it to fit flushly. And here's all the smaller pieces. We have the bird head. Need some tentacles on the back. Some pretty cool detailing on that. Then your other head option is this, I guess I'll call it spawn. Looks kind of like a chaos spawn type head. Tentacles coming out the mouth, I guess. Tentacles off the head, or I guess it's supposed to be flame maybe. One of the foot. Some really nice detailing on that foot. Little claws. Tentacle part. This actually hooks on the front of the body. These are the feet for that leg that I showed. The one has some rings on the fingers. It's really fine detailed. It's quite nice. Little bit of mold lines, nothing too major. Nothing I wouldn't expect from a resin model. Pretty easy to clean off. I have this nice giant set of claws. more claws. These come off the back of the model. They're very clean cast. They're very nicely detailed. This bit is actually tentacles for the back of the bird head. So this part goes off the back of the one head option. The claw for the hand. You have this eye and a tentacle. Only the eyes used in this build. Pieces of the arm and a part of the leg over here. Some nice spikes. They're very cleanly cast. Main section of the leg, upper part. Some cool looking detail in here with the teeth and the eyes. That tentacle's actually fairly strong. Doesn't feel like it's going to be flimsy and break easily. I mean, it's resin, so it's a little bit brittle, but it should be pretty good. And these two parts make up the one arm. I know it looks like a bird head, but it's actually is one arm. These parts slot together quite nicely, and that's actually one of the arms of the model. Again, this is a crazy looking model. And we have the feathers coming off a tentacle. This comes off the front of the miniature. Tentacle arm for the back. These are teeth for, they're actually on the torso. There's kind of like mouths on the torso. There's mouths and eyes everywhere on this model. A tooth and a beak for the chest. Some very nice detailing on that piece. Another tentacle piece. Eyes all up the tentacle, very reminiscent of the Queen of Malifica. These are two parts that come off the back of the model. Those claws hook into these parts. Tentacle holding a scroll. There's really nice detailing on this. I love the look of the parchment and everything. There's a little bit of flashing here, but it actually comes away with my thumbnail pretty easily. It's going to clean up quite nicely. I really like that piece. And then you have the hand holding the book here with the little vials hanging off the bottom. Just look at the detailing on that book. I love creature caster models. They're so good. So that's pretty much all the parts for that model. Now we have the King Resplendent. So here's the bases between the two. You can kind of see the difference of the base a little bit. There's tentacles on the base of the there's tentacles on the base of the Resplendent model. The two bodies are identical. This is the same part for both models. So they're identical. We have that leg bit. It's actually, again, the identical part from the other model. It's still really cool looking with that eye and the teeth in there. The tentacle part that hooks on the body, again, it's the same as the other model. A lot of these parts are the same. Here are some parts that are different, parts of the base. You have this large pillar with the spirits attached to it. Goes in like that. There's very nice detailing and cracks all up the pillar. The spirits on the pillar are very well sculpted. I can't wait to paint this thing. And then you have more spirits hold in another pillar. They're holding books on this one. The detailing on the book is nice. The spirits are nice, and that just slots into the base like that. It's going to be pretty clean connection point. You can kind of see the base is a lot bigger for this model in terms of what's on it. Here's some of the pieces. So some of these pieces are the same. You have like the arm there, the leg. They're the same as the other part. Torso, same as the other version. Foot, which is again the same as the other version. So now we have some parts that are different though. You have all these tentacle bits that the wings attach to, and if you look at these wings, they're so well sculpted. So you even have the different types of feathers. You have like the longer feathers on the outside, the smaller feathers on the inside. I don't know the scientific terms for it, but there's different types of feathers on birds, and they're so well defined and sculpted on these models. Just look at that. You can really see all the different feathers in there. This is actually like a flame bit for the top of that pillar that's on the base. Some nice sculpting on there. Be cool to do some glow effects with. This also is part of the base. It's more of that spirit swarm that attached to the one side of the base. So this bit right here, these two bits slot together. You have like a whole swarm of spirits holding books. I'll figure out how it goes together once I start assembling it. And then of course you have this big swarm that attaches to the back of the model, and look at the other side of it, all this detailing. You can see like the different bird faces in here. It's really cool. All the eyeballs. Again, I can't wait to paint this miniature. It's going to be so much fun with different effects I'm going to be able to do on it. That just is going to sit at the back of the model on the base like that. So here's some of the other bits. Again, another part of the spirit swarm holding a book. A lot of these bits are the same as the other piece. The only other thing that's really different is there's a third head option. It's kind of a more humanoid looking head. I don't think I'm going to use this, but again, it comes with the Resplendent, but not the Ascendant. So here they are assembled along with the Queen back here. So we have the King Ascendant and the King Resplendent. After building them, I can kind of tell you the difference between the two. So most of it is actually the same bits. The main differences are the bases are different. On this one, you can kind of see there's this tentacle coming out here and the eye in here. Those two connection points have the wings on this one. And where these claws are on the back of this one is where this big swirling portal is on the back of this one. So you have the big swirling portal here and the tentacles here. And obviously the base is different. The Resplendent also comes with a third head, so the heads that I have on here are actually the two heads that come with both. So they both come with this head. There's a third more humanoid head that comes with this one, but I actually like this one better, so I went with that. So if we want to look at them a little bit close up, they actually go together pretty well. They're going to need a little bit of gap filling, but any resin model is. This model's quite nice. You can see, holding the scrolls here, we have swarm of tentacles. Head. The head is the one part that I feel, this head in particular did not sit in as well as the other head, but I didn't want to give them both the same head, so I figured I'd give this one the more bird-like head. And now this one was a beast to get together. So it's not fully together yet. There's some blue tack holding it together just for painting. I want to have it in a couple separate pieces. But you can see the difference here. There's the little spirits holding the swarm of books. The wings, obviously, and again, they attach in that same spot where the tentacle and the eye attached on that one. The Ascendant was very well cast. This one had a couple little issues. They're kind of hard to see. There's a little bit of mold slippage on the side of the torso. It's no big deal. I can fix it easy with green stuff, but overall, I'm happy with the cast. They're not bad at all. Like I said, this one was almost perfect. This one just had a couple issues, and you just get that with resin models. You kind of have to expect it. Again, you have the column here, and you can kind of see the swirl here from the front, and the back of that swirl is actually really cool looking. You have all this detail of the demon head. You can kind of see there's like a couple bird heads swirling in there. Really neat. And if you look at them next to the queen there, you can kind of get an idea of the scale. The queen is taller than both of them, but they definitely take up more volume than she does. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to get your own copies of these models, I'm going to leave the links below to Creature Caster's website so you can pick them up yourself. I'm definitely going to paint these models up at some point. They're kind of far back in my queue. I'm backed up with some commissions and some other work right now, but eventually I will get to them, and I'll probably do videos when I do them. And I'm just going to leave you off with some 360 shots of the two different models so you can see what they look like in all of their glory.